Dean Wilbin, great to have you with us this morning. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Carl. Appreciate having me on.
Howard and a lot of HBCUs have done a lot of good work lately trying to accelerate the pipeline to executive leadership. Sort of paint the picture of what is happening right now.
Well, I mean, I think I think all the companies in the country realize there's a need to have a diverse workforce, particularly at the executive levels. And so, there have been study after study that demonstrates that companies that have a much more diverse executive leadership are more likely or have an opportunity to outperform the competitors at a much greater scale. So I think that the need is there. There's a financial recognition that the profits are impacted by not having a diverse leadership. And so they're coming to us with trying to help them find answers to that. So we have had a couple of companies come in and make significant investments at the Howard University Business School to help them address those needs and create pipelines to direct our kids directly into the executive suites. And I can mention a couple in particular. For example, we've had Marriott invest in a Center for Hospitality Leadership, which is going to be designed to pipeline students directly into the leadership levels of the C-suite in hospitality, which is having a huge problem with diversity, although it's very diverse at the lower levels. When you get to the executive suites, less than 5% of the CEOs are African American or minorities. And so this is, again, across all sectors where this is happening.
What I think is interesting about it is that it starts, if I'm not mistaken, at least the Marriott Foundation's program and yours starts the freshman year. So you're not in a situation where you're in your junior, senior year, you're starting to think about what comes next, and then you get started on this process. You sort of plant that seed a lot earlier.
Absolutely. And I think what's important to note is that the pipeline is incredibly important. So you have to get these students early in their careers and as they matriculate through the university system and let them understand what the opportunities are. And freshman year is the perfect time to do that. They're trying to figure out exactly what majors they're in, trying to understand exactly what career they want to pursue. And so we built this program with Marriott such that we tap into the freshmen early. And we're going to put them together with mentors in the industry, senior level mentors, give them specialized internships after their freshman year so they can actually get an idea about the operational functions. So by the time they graduate, they can jump right into the management levels. One of the things we've had in the past is that students, particularly in hospitality, once they graduated, would go into these low-level operational jobs and then try to work their way up. So we're trying to bypass that and give them the operational experiences while they're undergrads, and then actually launch into more management roles by the time they're graduating.
Yeah. We pay a lot of attention to diversity within financial services for obvious reasons. I wonder how you think about diversity within banks and whether or not success there is some sort of super-powered look at true success overall.
Yeah, so again, similar to what we did with Marriott, we've created a Center for Financial Excellence funded by HPS Investment Partners. And the issue there is that, again, the dearth of minorities and African Americans and other people of color in the private equity space. What we have is a very low number of folks that are entering that space. And I heard you mentioned talking to MLT, they're going to be helping us in some other ways to try to get folks into the alternative financial sector. And the challenge is that, again, they've been targeting, most of that sector has been targeting certain schools for a number of years, the Harvards and the Chicagos and those kinds of things. So our students have not been able to find that pathway into the private equity, investment banking, wealth management space. And similarly to what we did with hospitality, we're trying to build a program whereby we can give these students those experiences through workshops and boot camps and specialized internships to help them launch into the senior level space, executive suites of hospitality. I think it's critically important for us to be able to have a voice when we get into the rooms of some of these investment strategy meetings. And I think that program we're creating is going to have an impact not only for Howard, but across all the HBCU landscape, because we're doing some other things with Apollo and Aries and Oak Tree with an alt finance program that they've created with us through a $90 million investment.